You lied to me! Just to get back to that other woman!
Don't you understand? You're the other woman.
No! You're married to me! She's the other woman!
Under different circumstances, Will. Who knows? But we're just too different. I mean, you're dead.
You should have thought about that before you asked me to marry you.
Why can't you understand? It was a mistake. I would never marry you.
It is the early years of the Victorian era. Arranged marriages are quite common, and Victor is going to experience one as well. He is the son of the Van Dort family, who belonged to a long line of fish merchants. Victor's family has recently become wealthy and has attracted the attention of the high-status Everglot family. Despite receiving a large inheritance, the Everglots have gone bankrupt. They plan to regain financial stability by marrying off their daughter Victoria into the Van Dort family. The marriage is fixed, and both parties are preparing for the wedding rehearsal. However, Victor and Victoria are quite worried about marrying someone they have never met. What if they don't like each other?
Oh, Hildegard, what if Victor and I don't like each other?
Unfortunately, their parents see the wedding purely as a business deal.
As if that has anything to do with marriage. Do you suppose your father and I like each other?
Surely you must. A little.
Of course not.
Get those corsets laced properly. I can hear you speak without gasping.
Everyone gathers at the Everglots' mansion to perform the rehearsal.
Smile, darling, smile.
Well, hello. What a pleasure. Welcome to our home.
Oh, why, you must be Miss Victoria. Oh, yes, I must say you don't look a day over 20. No, yeah.
But Victor becomes distracted by a piano lying unattended in the lounge. Unable to resist his favorite instrument, he begins to play. Victoria hears the beautiful music and rushes down the stairs to see the creator of such enchanting notes. Victor becomes too nervous to utter a single word, but Victoria is mature and understanding. She has always wished to marry someone she would be madly in love with, but fate has something else in store for her. Victor apologizes for touching the piano without permission. In his embarrassment, he drops a flower vase. Victoria doesn't mind at all and gives him a flower as a memento of their first meeting. Suddenly, her mother interrupts the moment and calls them for the rehearsal. 3 hours pass, but Victor still can't recite his vows properly.
3 steps. 3! Can you not count? Do you not wish to be married, Master Van Dort?
The priest grows angry and asks Victor whether he has at least brought the ring.
Pay attention! Have you even remembered to bring the ring?
Victor takes it out, but it slips from his hand and falls under Mrs. Everglot's dress. While trying to retrieve it, Victor accidentally starts a fire with his candle. Everyone panics. Finally, the fire is extinguished by a wedding guest, Lord Barkis Bittern. He appears quite wealthy and possibly of noble birth, unlike Victor. The priest warns Victor to memorize the vows quickly, as the wedding is scheduled for the next day.
Enough! This wedding cannot take place until he is properly prepared. Young man, learn your vows.
Victor wanders into the forest, repeatedly practicing the vows, but he gets them wrong every time. Unknowingly, he walks too far and reaches a forbidden spot surrounded by strange branches and twisted trees. Victor imagines them as wedding guests and practices his vows once again. He then places the ring on one of the branches, pretending it is a bride's finger. Suddenly, the ground begins to shake. The branch turns out to be someone's hand. It grabs Victor and pulls him down. He barely manages to escape and stumbles backward. The ground splits open beneath the oak tree, and a female ghost rises. Terrified, Victor runs toward the town, but the ghost follows him effortlessly. He keeps tripping but refuses to give up. At the bridge, he finally collapses and loses consciousness. Victor wakes up in a completely different world. Everyone around him is dead and decaying, with some reduced to skeletons. He backs into a corner and demands an explanation. The ghost introduces herself as the corpse bride and reveals her tragic story. She was once a young woman of unmatched beauty. One day she met the man of her dreams, but her parents disapproved of their relationship. Refusing to give up, she decided to run away with him. Wearing her mother's wedding dress and carrying her family jewels, she went to meet him under the oak tree. She waited for hours, but he never came. Instead, he stabbed her and ran away with the jewels, having used her solely for money. Unable to accept her fate, she chose to wait under the oak tree until someone would accept her without greed. When Victor unknowingly recited his vows beneath the tree, she believed they were meant for her and considered herself married.
I do.
Victor is overwhelmed by this revelation and runs away as fast as he can. He climbs the bridge, hoping it will lead back to the real world, but it doesn't. The corpse bride introduces herself as Emily and presents Victor with a wedding gift. At first, it appears to be a pile of bones, but Victor realizes it is his late dog, Scraps. Overjoyed to see his beloved pet again, Victor comes up with an idea. His mother never allowed him to keep a dog, and this inspires him to lie to Emily about introducing her to his parents. The innocent bride agrees immediately. They visit Elder Goodconnect, an old skeleton with vast knowledge of both the living and the dead. Goodconnect searches his library and finds the correct book containing a spell that allows ghosts to travel to the living world. He cracks a crow's egg over the couple, transporting them beneath the same oak tree in the real world. Victor asks Emily for time to convince his parents and tells her to wait.
I think I should prepare Mother and Father for the big news. I'll go ahead, and you wait here.
Perfect.
He rushes into town, where rumors have spread that he ran away from his wedding for another woman. The Everglots are furious and threaten to shoot him.
See that Vandot boy? I'll strangle him with my bare hands.
Victor climbs up to Victoria's room and confesses his love. Though hesitant at first, he fell in love with her at first sight and wants to spend his life with her. Victoria feels the same. Just as they are about to kiss, Emily bursts in. She introduces herself as Victor's wife and drags him away. Back in the land of the dead, Emily accuses Victor of deceiving her. Victor, in anger,
You lied to me! Just to get back to that other woman!
Don't you understand? You're the other woman.
No! You're married to me! She's the other woman!
Under different circumstances, Will. Who knows? But we're just too different. I mean, you're dead.
You should have thought about that before you asked me to marry you.
Why can't you understand? It was a mistake. I would never marry you.
heartbroken, Emily runs away, realizing she and Victor can never be together because he belongs to the living. Meanwhile, Victoria tells her parents everything and begs for help. Believing she has lost her senses, the Everglots lock her in her room. With no sign of the groom and guests arriving, Lord Barkis takes advantage of the chaos and offers to marry Victoria. The greedy Everglots accept immediately and begin new wedding preparations.
Oh, my dear. Oh, don't look at me that way. You have only to suffer this union until death do us part. And that will come sooner than you think.
Back in the land of the dead, Victor sits beside Emily and apologizes. They play the piano together, and Victor admits his mistake. Emily is a wonderful woman who deserves the best, even if Victor cannot be that man. Suddenly, news spreads of a newly arrived dead person. To Victor's surprise, it is Mrs. Van Dort's servant, Mayhew. Victor is overjoyed to see him and asks about the well-being of everyone in the living world. Victor's parents search for him everywhere, but the shocking news is that Victoria is getting married to Lord Barkis. Victor is heartbroken and assumes that Victoria has deceived him. Meanwhile, Elder Goodconnect explains to Emily that she is not officially Victor's wife yet. The vows Victor recited were, "Till death do us part." Since Emily is already dead, she is technically separated from Victor. The only way to unite them again is by killing Victor. He must travel to the living world and drink the aged wine, which serves as poison. Emily refuses to ask Victor to make such a huge sacrifice, unaware that Victor overheard everything. What's more, he is ready to die for her. After learning about Victoria's marriage, Victor has lost all faith in the living world. He would rather become the source of someone else's happiness, even if it costs him his life. The next morning, Victoria is married off to Lord Barkis.
With this ring, I ask you to be mine.
While Victor also prepares for a grand ceremony. He invites all the dead to join him on his journey to the living world and witness their unique wedding. The dead are far kinder than they appear. They lovingly prepare a wedding cake, dress the bride and groom, and sing joyful wedding songs. At the Everglots banquet, however, there is complete silence. Though alive, the guests are dead at heart, devoid of emotion. As Lord Barkis begins his evening toast, the dead suddenly arrive. The guests flee in terror as ghosts roam through the town, and people cry out in fear. Then something unexpected happens. A little boy walks up to a skeleton and calls him Grandpa. He recognizes him. Soon, others begin recognizing their deceased loved ones as well. After this emotional reunion, The dead make their way to the church. A wedding awaits. Emily walks down the aisle like a princess and stands before her true love. Victor recites his vows and lifts the wine glass. Emily pours the poisoned wine into it, but suddenly notices Victoria watching them, bearing the same pain Emily once felt. The pain of being left behind. Emily stops Victor from drinking the wine. She was a bride whose dreams were stolen, but she refuses to do the same to another bride. With that, Emily calls Victoria forward and gives her back to Victor. This touching moment is interrupted by the arrival of Lord Barkis. He married Victoria for money and demands his share at any cost. His eyes fall upon Emily, and he immediately recognizes her. Lord Barkis is the selfish man who deceived Emily and murdered her, along with her innocent dreams. The dead prepare to take revenge. To protect himself, Lord Barkis grabs Victoria and threatens to kill her. Victor orders him to step away, but Barkis refuses. Luckily, Scraps bites Barkis's leg, allowing Victoria to break free. Victor grabs a large fork and fights Barkis, but he cannot withstand the man's massive sword. His fork is knocked away. Barkis delivers a final blow meant to kill Victor. But Emily steps in front of him. She says little, only asking Barkis to leave. Still cruel and heartless, Barkis picks up the poisoned wineglass and mocks Emily for never being able to marry.
But first, a toast to Emily! Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Tell me, my dear, can a heart still break once it's stopped beating?
Laughing arrogantly, he drinks the wine. Within seconds, his heart stops and he dies on the spot. Even death is not punishment enough for his crimes. The dead seize their weapons, eager to welcome the new arrival properly. Victor is finally free to marry Victoria, but he worries about the promise he made to Emily. The corpse bride smiles and assures him that the promise has already been fulfilled. Victor vowed to lift all of Emily's sorrow, and he did. Her murderer has been punished, and her soul can finally rest. Emily walks toward the church door and gazes at the bright moon. Her body begins to disintegrate into countless tiny butterflies that soar into the night sky. She is finally free, heading to a far better world. Thank you for watching, guys. If you love animation movies, please subscribe to this channel and keep watching. Bye!